C'ha le gambe da tiro, come quei cavalli, sai? Quelli con le gambe più.
Che ha un potere sdraiati tutti, ma non da avere la scossa. Sì, perché poi Vigliacco che dice una cosa interessante. Sbagli la strada, non ci arrivi più. Il percorso
So it's a big warm welcome to this opening round of the FIM Supermoto World Championship, the GP of Europe. We are here in Italy. This is Castelletto di Branduzzo. Just up from Rome, as you can see, Castelletto there. And let's take a look then around the surrounding area. Very beautiful. A lot of water sports. A lot of architecture from many years ago, a lot of history attached to this particular area of Italy, and a place well worthy of stopping off on your journeys through. Believe you me. Well, let's take a look at some of the pictures. Well, the Motodromo welcomes you here to Italy for this first round of the FIM World Supermoto Championship, of course, promoted by Youthstream. There is the circuit, the off-road section here looking extremely good, 1,975 metres, and the off-road section 250 metres. It is a section that is going to catch a few riders out, believe you me. I had to walk around there this morning. It's very hard packed, but it's quite slippery. Okay, so race one got underway a little earlier today. Let's take a look at the action from that first S2 race, as the crowd sit there in anticipation. So here we go. So a change, of course, this year we've got S2 now takes the place of S1, and S2 becomes S1, S1 becomes S2. So naturally, let me just explain. S1 now, all 450cc machines. S2 now basically the open cast machines, really up to 600 or 550cc, really whatever you want to run. But a big crowd turning out here in Castelletto to enjoy our Supermoto racing as the riders get off on their warm-up lap. Again, this is the first of the two S2 races, and David Gozzini there on the TM, quickest man from Gerald Delapine. Pinotti there in third. Those were the three of the four men that went for the Super Pole this morning here. The other one, Marcel Gotts, a Swiss rider on the KTM, he finished in fourth. A problem there for number 71 going out of that there. That was the South African rider, Craig Venske. Problem with the machine. He was to get it restarted again, so as they came back down onto the grid for the first race of this 2007 season. What a season we have in store for you here. I can tell you, it's absolutely storming weather here today. Beautiful weather. It's so hot out there. Must be, well, you saw the temperature earlier on. Well, there is Gozzini, number 69 on that TM, and the lights are about to change as they come under starters' orders. There is the grid. David Gozzini, Gerald Delapine, Attilo Pinotti and Marcel Gotts. Then the top four on the front row of the grid. Christian Iden, the British rider on the Aprilia, there in fifth from Marini. And a problem there, say for number 71, the South African. He's going to have to push that off to the side and rejoin probably at the back of the grid as they reform up for the start of the race. Lorenzo Pes on the WRM. Of course, WRM now riding in World Motocross as well as our Aprilia. Samuel Warren. So here we go. Lights go out. The first race here gets underway in Castelletto. S2 race 1. And it looks like the pole sitter's got the start. Gozzini with a great start, and down goes, and that's Christian Iden. Iden's got caught by somebody, back fender bent. Iden's going to have to charge right through the pack now, and we've seen him do it before. And when it comes to charging, young Iden is a boy that will physically just push everybody out of the way. He's so small and so agile, but he's very aggressive when he's out there on the circuit. They're all bunching up, but it looks like the TM that's got the start at the moment. It very much looks like Gozzini's got a great start. Where is Marcel Gotts? Matt Winstanley was in there as well on the number 9 machine, the KTM, basically the Robinson-sponsored runner from Wigan up there in the north of the country in England. There he is, second place. That is Winstanley. Great start from him. Great qualifying heat for him as well. He was quite well up there in the qualifying session. Let's just have a look through my list here of qualifiers. It was here in a moment ago just in front of me. S2 qualifiers. Well, it was indeed. Let's run it down. And where did he finish? Warren finished down in 19th. I can tell you that now. Winstanley was actually 8th in qualifying. At the time, a very, very respectable time considering he's on a privateer machine of 1:31.020 on a Robinson's from Rochdale KTM. But it is the TM that's out front at the moment as they come around Arroway Corner there. One of our major sponsors, of course, of the series, along with Dunlop. Let's not forget our major sponsor, Dunlop. They're all on the same tyres. Most of them opt in to run soft back and front. I did speak with the Dunlop technicians earlier, and they're all running soft back and front. They get a choice of around 10 tyres per Grand Prix. They get 10 stickers, that is. They have stickers on the side of the tyre, front and back. And if you do not have your stickers on, you're going to find yourself put back in the paddock. Winstanley, Gotts there in third now from Velarosa, and Gerald Delapine, the former champion, down in fifth with Alice Ladd. You remember Alice, the Slovenian, winning the very last round in Athens last year in spectacular fashion from Winstanley. When Winstanley won the first race, crashed out in virtually into the last lap of race 2 when he was well in the lead, hit a back marker, 1:25. Racing hard there at the moment. It is a good scrap going on between these guys. Velarosa there hanging on to this. That's the off-road section. It's tough out there at the moment. Gotts alongside him, number 5 on the KTM. Good race here. This is the first of the S2 races. That looked to me like Delapine behind on the big Husqvarna. Delapine, of course, now I'm not going to tell you his age because he's very hesitant to actually own up to how old he is. But I can say he's younger than me, but over 30. We'll leave it at that, shall we? 1:25, he's there. Looking further down the order, Sam Warren down in 20th at the moment, and Venske, the South African, 71, down in 21st. Iden, after crashing out on that first corner, down in 27th, but I'm sure he'll start to make his way up through the field fairly quickly as they come around the Arroway Corner once again. Head up towards the top end of the circuit. It's very cut and thrust out there with these boys. Track temperature's quite hot, but really not a problem for these Dunlop tyres. It's going to be interesting who comes out on top with this one, but I can tell you the man out front is Gozzini. What a great start for him. Winstanley in second, Vederosa from Gotts, from Delapine. Someone's gone down. We've lost somebody. Somebody's gone down somewhere, and yellow flag out there, which indicates a fallen rider. Who is it? Pinotti there. Girolami, Baracani, Nesta Jorge. There it is, Pes, Giovanelli, Colino, and Sam Warren up to 18th now. So Sam on the gas, not happy. Only just got his bikes a few days ago, so they're working hard to try and get the suspension working to his requirements. There is Delapine. He's on the gas. Is that Delapine trying to push his way through? Yes, it is, number 3. The former world motocross star, Gerald Delapine, really making light work there of Marcel Gotts, number 5. Now he's going after Vederosa. 125, so we've got a battle on here. The former champion who got knocked off his peg last year by Bernheimer, the German, who now rides in the S1 class. Now let me just explain again. S2 last year has now become S1, 450cc, and S1 has become S2. Basically almost any sort of CC you want to run, really. 660 TM out there. It is a 660 that's in the lead. The TM of Gozzini out front, but the battles are on certainly right down through the field here at the moment. They are going for this. It's hot work out there. Temperature's very high. These guys in these leathers are going to be getting very, very overheated as the day goes on. But I'm sure they won't be worrying too much, because if they can get up there anywhere near the front, around the city corner, there they come, around the top loop, and they are really battling for this. As we pick up some of the action coming around the backside, Gozzini still loses, and it was Winstanley that we lost. Young Matthew Winstanley, the Wigan Whippet, seems to have lost out somewhere. He's crashed out of the race, and, well, that's a shame for him, because he was going so well in second place after that 8th place in qualifying. Girolami, Nesta Jorge there. Further down, let's have a look. Sam Warren up to 16th with Sangalia, and then Vensky up to 18th. So the South African will really start to put the gas on. Warren up to 16th, Christensen up to 19th. So despite being on the floor at first, Alice Vederosa stalled the bike. The South African got it all wrong there. No, I don't want to talk about South African. Vederosa's not South African, is he? Certainly not. He got it all wrong, stalled the bike down. Thinking of the guy that's further down. Now, our only South African riding, Winstanley out of this one. Down in 31st, but he's retired after that crash. But there's the race leader, David Gozzini, TM Factory Racing. 25 years of age from Brescia, and he started racing back in Supermoto in 2002, so his girlfriend will be on the side of the track. That's Sarah. She'll be cheering him on. Former European MX rider, and well, naturally TM 660. It's the tube frame machine. They've still not released that alloy frame, which they're intended to do, I think, in motocross before Supermoto. Arrow pipes on the back. Of course, it's regime chains, and he's wearing city boots, of course. SMRE engineering design. They make big machines for the industrial use. New 4-stroke 250 aimed for motocross for 2008, incidentally, TM. That'll be interesting as they start to put the gas down, these boys, and try and close the gap in this first race of the day for this S2 class. That's the fight for third position. Pinotti and Swiss rider Marcel Gotts going at it handlebar to handlebar through the off-road section, back onto the tarmac. A lot of dust getting onto there. That's going to be tricky as the day goes on. They do water the off-road section. Oh, that was close. He just overcooked it a little bit there, and it almost got away from him. That's the dust getting onto the track for that off-road section. It is tricky. So Gotts now under pressure, it looks like, from number 32. Well, the battles are going on right down through the field. Of course, that's Nesta Jorge on that 32 machine. There's Marcel Gotts, KTM. That is Gerald Delapine on the number 3, Husqvarna. The veteran, I have to say now, with the exception of people like Bussai, he's a veteran of Supermoto racing, ex-motocross star. 80s move. There is Pinotti, Attilio Pinotti on the KTM Italia team. Second position for him. He won't be too unhappy with this result, that's for sure. He finished third in Superpole this morning after setting a very respectable time yesterday. He finished in third there as well with a 1:30.209. Couldn't repeat that this morning. His time this morning, Pinotti, was 1:34. Shows you how track conditions can change just overnight. sweeping round the outside corners here. It's looking very good. Further down, Pest there in 9th at the moment. Verderosa dropping till 11th after stalling the machine. Won't be happy with that. Iden is up to 15th. Sam Warren 16th. So Iden has passed basically his sort of a prettier teammate. Venski is there, the South African, so making good considering he had to start from the back of the grid. That looks like, yes, that's the number 3 machine, and he's being chased. Of the winner of the last Grand Prix in Athens. Oh, down goes number 32 on the floor. Well, that's not the way to do it. That is definitely Nesta Jorge got it completely on its side and just applied the power and tried to straighten it up. It didn't. It wasn't coming up. Gozzini out front. He can look over his shoulder. What a great race for him. Right from the change of the lights, he's stuck at that TM right out front, and there's absolutely no way anybody's going to catch him. He's doing a Van den Bosch, basically. He's just going away and just leaving everybody. There's the checkered flag. So it will be him that takes the win in race 1. Happy? Yes, indeed, and so are the team, and so they should be. They'll be cheering him all the way back to the team, so the race order looks like this. It was Gozzini from Pinotti from Delapine, Alislad there, the Slovenian, and Barakani, get this right, Marini, Pes and Rispoli. Mariani, I should say. Iden got himself through to 9th place with Jorge finishing in 10th, Verderosa 11th, the 2 falling, of course, Giovanelli and Samuel on 14th, Minutilia, and Marcel Gotts dropping down to 16th. He was right up there at the start. Further down, Testu there. Venski dropped to 20th. Winstanley credited with 21st, although I think he actually did pull out the race. Calaloria and Colino. Passel. But that's the man that did it. David Gozzini, winner of S2 Race 1. You couldn't ask for more than that, could you? So the crowd there soaking up the sunshine here in Italy. It's a gorgeous day. It really is beautiful out there. You could not ask for anything more. No rain to be seen, a slight breeze. So let's take a look around the track here at Castelletto, shall we, with Thierry Van den Bosch, the winner last year of the class. And here we go, into that sharp left-hander where Iden fell. Into the right-hander, open the power up, let the bike take you along. Hard on the brakes again for the right-hander, sliding the back out. As it comes around there, just feathering the power on, keep feathering it, hard on the brakes again, really hard, down the gearbox, quick squirt to this left-hander, throw it in, sliding the back out again. Remember, these machines fitted with slipper clutches, left into there, hard on the power once again as you get across the back section, heading towards the off-road. Right, slam on the brakes, and these things do have some brakes, I can tell you. Brembo brakes fitted to many of these bikes, and they do stop very quickly. Single front disc, some of them talking about having a twin front disc. Into this left-hander, heading towards that off-road section, which is technical here today. It's very dry. Now you turn left straight onto it. Go wide on the outside. You can see it's been watered over this little jump, hard there, into there. A lot of them are going wide there. Over this little jump, wide again. There you see, goes wide. He heads up this next jump. It's a bit of a tabletop, clear over there. Goes wide, he will go wide, or some go the inside. Well, he's decided for the inside, but in the race, I tend to think most of the riders head round the wide, kind of the wall of death. Back onto the tarmac once again, as they come up towards this, on the power, up the gearbox, down the gearbox, on the brakes, into this left-hander, as they head towards the start straight. There it is. Oh, I should say that's the back of the start straight. That's the old start straight here, as they turn again in there, this little chicane section. It's sharp here. You've really got to keep your momentum going, your power. And they turn left. Now they'll come down towards the start and finish straight. That's a lap here with Thierry Van den Bosch. So welcome here to Castelletto di Branduzzo here in Italy for this first round of the FIM World Supermoto Championship. GP of Europe, and this is the starting list, S2 Race 2. David Gozzini on pole, the winner of Race 1. Gerald Delapine, Pinotti, Gotts, Iden, Mariani, Verderosa and Winstanley, who crashed out of Race 1. Testu, Jorge, Barakani, Girolami, Alice Ladd there, Giovanelli, Pes and Colino. Top 16, a mixture of Husqvarna's, Yamahas, KTM's, Husabergs, WRMs, And further down, well, Sam Warren, not a great one for him, trying to get the bike set up, 19th qualified, and further down, as you can see yourself, mixture of Husabergs, KTM, Hondas, Aprilias there as well. It's a good mixture this year. Say S2, those of you that maybe just joined us, we've got to change around the classes. Last year, the S1 has now become the S2, and the S2 has now become the S1. So the S1 is effectively 450s, the S2 are the open machines. Vensky, the South African. So and Clementi, let's have a look. Italian Clementi on the Aprilia, the former Superbike rider. So there is the winner of race 1, David Gozzini. He will be happy if he can do it again in race 2. Winner of Superpole here this morning. It's hot out there. It's very hot out there at the moment. The temperature is going up. Track conditions really not changing. Most of these guys running soft back and front. There are 1 or 2 running hard on the back, and there is the odd one running hard back and front. Gerald Delapine on the Husqvarna, the former champion, the S1 champion, lost it out to, of course, the German Bert Hema last year. Hema opting to change to the new S1 class and going down to the 450cc machines. Pinotti, Attilio Bonetti, KTM Italian team, got to get it started. And some of these things have electric starts and some of them don't. And sometimes they think that they wish they had a button to push because it's easier than kicking it over in this heat. Marcel Gotch, you see, wearing that new neck restraint. A lot of motocross riders beginning to use those as well. Stops your chin from dropping right forward or your neck from going right back. So if you do experience a crash by being thrown over the handlebars, it can prevent any serious injury. Well, that is Christian Idden, the British rider who crashed out at the start of race 1 but got back on the gas. Came through to finish in 9th. Idden will be wanting to do better. And if you look at his boots, you'll notice he wears a red boot on one side and a white boot on the other. He's told me it's superstitious. We tend to think it's because he's a Brit. Lorenzo Mariani, MRC Racing. Here we go. They're going to bring them under starters' orders. Dunlop, it is the main tyre manufacturer, the only tyres permitted to be used in Supermoto as from last year. And Dunlop are the main sponsors of the series, of course, along with all our other associate sponsors, of course, Aprilia, Flexageln and City, of course, and Mormai join us this year, the Brazilian manufacturers of sunglasses. Mormai, a pair of sunglasses presented to the top 3. Oh, a problem there. Someone pushed. That looked like 125. That did indeed look Verderosa that pushed his bike off to the side, so he may well have to start from the back of the grid as the rest of the field get off. Not good for him. That's not the way you want to be starting an event, I can assure you, by pushing your bike off to the side of the track. The last thing you want to happen in life. So Gozzini from Delapine, from Pinotti, from Gotts. That's your top 4 from Superpole this morning. They really did go for it, but the times were slower. Idden from Mariani, and then Verderosa and Matt Winstanley, who crashed out of race 1, winning 2nd place. Testui, Nesta Jorge, Barakani, Girolami, they're all there. Alice Ladd, who had a good 4th in race 1, the Slovenian, who's himself had a few problems trying to, in qualifying and free practice yesterday. His bike stopped twice due to carburation problems, but they did get them sorted out in the end, which was good for him. Not a bad start in race 1 for him. So this is race 2 from the S2 class. We are now live, of course. Craig Vensky from South Africa on the KTM. We're on Bugard there, and looking further down to the guys at Ivan Clementi. There is Aprilia, the ex-Superbike rider. He's out there now, joining us in Supermoto for the first time this year. We'd like to say welcome to Ivan Clementi and his friends and all those at home that are cheering for him. Nice to have him with him. It'll take him perhaps a few Grand Prix to get his speed up, get his head into Supermoto racing, but I'm fairly sure we'll see him start to do something fairly useful in the very near future. So welcome, Mr. Clementi. Gozzini leads the round, the winner of the first race. Can he make it 2 out of 2? That TM really is on the gas at the moment. He really has got it dialed right in. Sponsors many of SMRE, of course, engineering design. They make big machines for industrial use. Mazzocchi forks on the front. He's got an Olin rear shock on there as well. And, of course, Bologna, the Italian kitchen manufacturer, one of their major sponsors again for this year. If you want a really nice Italian kitchen, that's the company to talk to, I can tell you. But they're not cheap. City boots, Regina chains, of course, they borrow oils as well. And they've got arrow pipes on the back of that bike. Help to keep it down to around 96 dB, because noise, an issue that is very much on the agenda here in Supermoto, as it is in motocross, because these 4 strokes do tend to put out a thundering sound, and it is a problem which is being addressed slowly each year by the FIM Technical Committee, and they're talking about lower levels for next year. But we'll just have to wait. There's 96 at the moment allowed, 97 at the end of the race as they come round. That's KTM just going through there. I'm looking further down the field as they come round on this warm-up lap. There is Marcel Gotz. Well, he had a pretty disastrous race one. Went in a good position. He got it all sadly wrong. Looks like Gerald Delapine has just gone past. So Delapine looking to finish with good points again in race 2. So as they come down, getting those tyres warmed up, keep an eye out for number 9, Matt Winstanley again, who, whilst in second place in race 1, apparently lost the front end of the bike. It just crashed out, and that was that for Matt. Similar sort of luck that he had last year on the last round in Athens, when he won the first race quite convincingly and was in the lead of the first race. He won convincingly in the lead of the second race, and just got tangled up with a fallen back marker, and it blew it completely, allowing Alice Ladd to take his first ever Grand Prix win. 57, Attilio Pinotti. Under starters' orders, they are now Gozzini, Delapine alongside him as the back of the grid drop into their respective places. Crowd wait with anticipation. We've got a big crowd that's turned out here. Supermoto growing yearly now with support from the crowd. The fans are beginning to come and beginning to get themselves associated with the riders with the good. Looks like Verderosa has joined the race in his original place. There's Christian at number 4 behind Gozzini. Well, if he follows Gozzini through, he should be in about second out of the first corner if he can stay out of trouble. Yes, he has. 125 has rejoined. Verderosa has joined in his original start position. They didn't make him go to the back of the grid. Green flag is up to say that everything is correct. Here we go. They're now under the lights. They'll go, lights will come up, 2 facing the riders. They'll go out, new start system, no more 4 lights, just 2 lights on. We only see 1 light from this side, but they can see 2 from the other. Lights out, here we go then. S2 race 2 gets underway here at Castelletto, and who is it? It looks like Gotz has got the start this time. Gozzini on the outside of him, and they're all going to safely get through. Oh, they're banging and bashing into each other there. It doesn't really matter. Looks like 71 got the worst of that at the back, and that was Venski again, Craig Venski, the South African. But it looks like, I'd say that's number 5 in the lead. It is. Yes, indeed. Marcel Gotz, the Swiss rider, on the KTM, has got to measure it this time. Now, can Gozzini get past him? Where are the rest of the guilty parties in this one? I'm trying to see who it is there in third. It could well be it's either Pinotti. Oh, and here comes Gozzini up the inside. Oh, he's not going to make that. That was nearly disaster. You see him just catch the front wheel on the back wheel of the Swiss KTM. So, but no doubt about it, Marcel Gotz is in a winning mood. Oh, number 8 going out. He's out of this one. Oh, the crash to the bikes. Well, just decided to just stop on him. Girolami, that is, going out. So Girolami, something wrong with the machine. It can happen right at the start. And here they are. They're queuing up for this. Is that Alice Ladd going to second place? From here, I can't quite see the number. Looks to me like number 57. No, it's Pinotti. My apologies. It's Pinotti that goes to second. So Gozzini, the winner of race 1, goes back to third. Marcel Gotz leads it at the moment. Pinotti into second. Well, I know what's happened with Attilio Pinotti during the winter, but he's found himself a new lease of life. This is not unusual. Italy's back there in 4th. I say it's not unusual in the first Grand Prix of the year, because guys go away during the winter, do a lot of training, motocross in particular, and they come back completely renewed, refreshed, either with new teams or new bikes, and, well, the first couple of Grand Prix really starts to set the scene for the rest of the series. Of course, our next Supermoto Grand Prix, we go to, where are we now? We're looking at Villers-sur-Cour, I think, in France. But they're queuing up already, and the boy at the back of this group, number 4, Matt, of course, that's Christian Idem, won't stand any nonsense. You watch him start to push his way through. He says it's so hard to overtake, and he's already got them lined up. He'll watch him, he'll go underneath Gozzini, and he'll just push him out. I spoke to him earlier, he said the only way past here is forcefully. Well, let's just hope it works for him, because the other guys are not going to give it that easily. Look at Pinotti. Well, what has got into him? Second in race 1. Well, if he wins race 2, that will give him the overall result. He's just got to get past Marcel Gotts at the moment. Gotts, Pinotti, Gozzini, Idden, Delapine and Testu. That's the top 6 here at the moment. Oh, any mistakes over there? Has he gone? Pinotti goes to the lead. Has he got it? Can he come back? No, Marcel Gotts says, I'm going the long way round, but it's quicker, my friend. And he goes back into the lead. Mariani, Giovanelli there, Pes, Regal, and, well, looking further down the field, a couple of French riders there, Bourget and Jalidi, Reynaud and Rispoli, and looking further down, well, Colino should have been further up there at the start of this race, but he's wallowing down in 23rd as they come through to complete another lap. Vensky down there in 26. Oh, Sam Warren's got a terrible start. Those of you back in the UK, back in 28. Sam not happy with the bike here this weekend. He can't get the suspension to work for him. Can't get the grip on the rear tyre. It's just not working, but I'm sure Chris and the boys will be working hard to get that sorted out for the next round. But here they go. These are the top 12. Well, we've got a procession of 5 now, all battling for this first place. This is going to be interesting. If it stays like this throughout the whole race, I wouldn't like to say how it's going to end up. If not, maybe in a heap in the gravel trap at the side of the track. You never know. It's been or win for some of these boys, and Eden will be one of those. He's going to go for this. He's trying to get past Gozzini. Gozzini will not want Pinotti to finish in front of him, because it will mean Pinotti will take the overall result, and Gozzini would end up possibly in second. The man in second place at the moment, well, he finished where? Let's have a look further down my results here. It was, well, Pinotti in second place, and, well, for number 5, Marcel Gotts, a terrible first race, finished down in 16th. Here they come, and it's all do and die at the moment. They're all crawling over each other. They're all climbing over the back of each other's pipes and rear wheels. And at the moment, that's allowing the race leader to get out in front. A lad there in 7th, and Verderosa in 8th. Nesta Jorge there, and then Winstanley 10th. Further down, well, you see Pes, Giovanelli there, Mariani, and well, they're all battling over that 13th place, 13th, 14th, 15th. But we're looking at the action at the front. Verderosa there as well, just caught those. I think that is Verderosa, that very light blue bike as they come flying through. Well, I'll tell you something. Oh, I think Eden may have gone to 3rd. Eden may well have gone up the inside of somebody there and gone to 3rd. Or has he? I think he has. Well, we'll wait for the result to come. Wait for the graphics to change here. Now, and Eden has gone to actually 2nd, so eat my hat. Eden, 2 in one go, goes from 4th to 2nd. Christian Eden has decided he wants to start doing some winning after race 1 disaster when he crashed on the opening corner, when he got pushed by, or he got punted, as he said, by another rider. You watch him. He goes up the inside of the rider. He won't back off. He will not back off, as you saw there. Marcel Gotts had to give it to him. And that's the team manager. Well, I have to say that Christian Eden is certainly decided to take no. And Nino Maccazzini, the team manager, will have a smile on his face as his man just stuck that Aprilia right underneath the KTM and said, thank you very much, I'm taking the lead. Now, come on, Christian. He flies the flag for Great Britain. So close last year. He was running 2nd for the first 4 rounds of the championship. Then he picked up a knee injury when he clouted the side of a raised pavement on one of the tracks, and that kind of affected his speed for the rest of the season. Finished, as you see by his plate, in 4th place in this S2 class. It was S1 last year, it's S2 this year, so if you are a little confused over that, the classes have changed. S1 has become S2, S2 has become S1, because S1 now the main, well, no, I'm not going to say the main class, all 450cc machines, whereas S2 is very much an open kind of class, when you can ride anything almost that you want. Unless it's got 3 wheels and you're not allowed to ride it then. So we've now started to see some changes, because the gap at the front beginning to open up on the next 3 along Verderosa at the back of those 3, I think. Where is Delapine? He's currently in 4th. Eden leads, Gotts, then Pinotti. Oh, no, please, he's off. Oh, it's gone. No, it's all over for him. David Gozzini, it's gone terribly wrong. Something's broken. He's either got a puncture or the back wheels come loose. Something has gone wrong. The winner of race 1, David Gozzini, the Italian on the TM, out of this one with a mechanical problem. Looks like we've got a battle on here now for second place, and it is Pinotti that occupies that space. Marcel Gott's back in third. Who is back there in fourth? That is Delapine. Recognise those broad shoulders, arms out, true motocross style if I've ever seen it. But it's Christian Idden that's out front. The young British rider. Where is he now? 21, 22 years of age. Let's just check out my information on the young charger, young Idden. 22 years of age now. Of course, he comes from High Peak in Derbyshire. And please excuse me if I allow the odd cough to come out, because I'm still nursing that little bit of a chest problem I picked up at Valkenswaard. Girlfriend, well, he doesn't have a girlfriend at the moment, people. So young girls out there are looking to hook up with a rather talented, and I have to say rather handsome young supermoto rider. Christian Idden is available. It says available in my box. Started racing in 2002, Huskies and then Husabergs. He likes to eat pizza, and well, he likes to play snooker as well. Doesn't like the Three Sisters circuit in England, so for some reason. Best known to him rather than me. Lap 5, there you see the times. Pinotti and Gotts. That's how they're putting this together at the moment. Well, I don't know. He's going to get back out in the race, but really this is... it's going to be sour grapes for him, because whatever he does now, he's way down on the rest of the field. Unless he can stage some kind of incredible comeback, he will be lucky to finish in the points. Marcel Gotts. Well, race 1 was a complete disaster for him, but race 2 looking a lot better, as David Gozzini, that winner of race 1, goes back out on the TM. Whether that was a puncher in the rear tyre, they've changed that rear wheel by the looks of things, so maybe it was a puncher. In and out front, Pinotti, Gotts, and then it is the number 3, Husqvarna, of course, Gerald Delapine, the Belgian rider. So we've got a British rider leading, Italian second, Swiss in third, Belgium in fourth. Then we've got Maxime Testu from France in fifth, Alice Ladd, the Slovenian, in sixth. And I understand that Alice will be changing allegiances for the next Grand Prix. I'm not going to say any more, but we'll get to that when we get to the next Supermoto Grand Prix. But Alice will be changing allegiances. Say no more. There he is in sixth place, the winner of the last round in Athens last year. Looking further back, Verderosa in 7, with Winstanley now up into 8th. So the Robinson man really on the gas. Lorenzo Mariani in 9th, Baracani in 10th from Nestor Jorge, Giovanelli in 12th from Mutilia in 13th, Lorenzo Pes, Regal, Gogay, the Adrien Gogay in 16th, the Frenchman Rispoli, the Italian behind him. Sam Warren in 20th place. Can't get that bike to work for him at the moment, but keep plugging away, Sam. We're all rooting for you, of course, back there in the UK. This is the battle. Now, are we going to see any change? I have to say that I put my money on Delapine pushing through into third place. Third in race 1. If he does a third in race 2, that's got to give him the third step. I couldn't even give him the second step at the podium. I'm not going to get too adventurous in my predictions at the moment. I'm going to flick my little screen over here and I'll give you some idea of where they're going to stand. Pinotti would win the Grand Prix from Delapine and Idden. 44 points to 38 to 37. Alice Ladd would finish in 4th with 33. So really, if Alice can elevate himself up a couple of positions, he might go for third step. Delapine doesn't. He's got to get past Pinotti and hope that he has a serious problem. Gotts would finish in actually 8th with 25 points if he finishes where he is after that first race. A disaster. And I have to tell you that poor old David Gozzini would be relegated down to 7th place with only 25 points. There are 2 riders on 25 points at the moment, Gozzini and Gotts. Verderosa on 24. That's how it would look at the end of the race if it stays as it is. We will have a Brit on the top step, well, no, the third step of the podium. Well, Christian Idden managed to do that in about the first 3 rounds last year, and then he clouted that knee of his, and it all went a little bit awry. But here comes Delapine in the off-road section. Well, if any man is comfortable in that stuff, it's got to be him, and he's banging handlebars now with the Swiss rider. Oh, and Marcel Gotts just cuts him off. Delapine fights back, no way through, but he might just push his way as he lines up for his next. Marcel Gotts is fighting for his life on this one. He just does not want to relinquish that third position to Delapine. Marcel Gotts, well, another one that's found some secret formula during the winter layoff, and obviously been doing a lot of training. A lot of these guys go motocross riding in the winter, gives them something to do, keeps them fit, and of course it sharpens up their skills for the off-road sections. But it is Swiss versus Belgium at the moment for third position in the race. Husqvarna chasing down the mighty Austrian KTM. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Well, already Delapine's had one little snifter in the off-road section. He'll have another go for sure. That's the times. Well, they are so close, and they're getting quicker. Lap 6, they've gone up to 132s. I really don't think, I wouldn't want to put any of my money on who's going to come out here in third place. I think they could both end up on the floor if they're not careful. Iden still leads it. He's 1 second, 1.5 seconds in front of Pinotti, the Italian. This is the battle for third place with Gotts and Delapine. Laddie's back there in fifth at the moment. He's 9 seconds off the leader, but only 3 seconds off fourth and third. So possibly Alice Ladd could elevate himself up a position or two, especially if these two have a bit of a coming together. Delapine, well, Spider-Man Deli stalking his man, and there he goes. He's waited, he's found a way through, and you could just see Alice Ladd there behind those two. There he is, head down on the bars. Alice Ladd, the young Slovenian, beginning to close the gap on the two in front. So this is going to be interesting. Or is that Alice? Yeah, according to my information, according to my readout here, that is Alice Ladd that's there, closing down on those two in front. So he may well score himself some extra points before this race is over. Well, it's not over till the, as I say, till the checkered flag swings. He's 27 years of age. He was born on the 6th of July, but it's his birthday on the 6th of July. And incidentally, he lives in Ljubljana in Slovenia. And it was his daughter, 3 years of age, also one on the 5th of July. So it's a daddy and daughter birthday party, a joint operation. His wife, Marina, will be there as well. Loves Italian food, especially mozzarella with tomatoes. And he likes to go wakeboarding and downhill mountain biking, which is rather exhilarating at the best of times on those things, especially when you crash out. Didn't ride between 99 and 2000 due to work commitments, but raced 2001 in Supermoto. Did motocross for 7 years at Alice Ladd, so he's been around a while. He knows how to hang on to the bike, but the Slovenian, oh, look at Delapine. Well, Marcel Gotts is fighting back, but while these two are scrapping over this third position, it's allowing Alice Ladd and Maxime Testud and Verderosa, I think, to get a little bit closer to them. You can see there's a whole bunch of, there's 4 riders closing the gap on them. There is Verderosa on the 125 machine going through, and Warren in 20th, Sam Warren, and there's another one there as well, so it's all getting a little bit scrappy as they go through the city corners there, pick it up left, then right, into Dunlop Curve. Dunlop, of course, our major tyre sponsor here for this Supermoto. Let's have a look at this. And Marcel Gotts, well, that was the overtaking move earlier by Gerald Delapine on Marcel Gotts, clean as a whistle. But, well, Marcel Gotts obviously didn't read the script, because he said, I'm not having this, and just look at that for a leap of faith. Gerald Delapine well, that's the motocross experience coming out in the man. Many years at World Grand Prix 500cc motocross racing with Georges Aubet, and that was it. And Christian Iden has decided that the best way to win this race would be from the front. And I can't think of a better way of doing it. Look at the gap he's building up. It's now up to 2.5, almost 3 seconds in front of Pinotti. So Iden showing why he rides for Factory Aprilia. He's ridden for Husqvarna. He's ridden for Husaberg. He's been about 5 times British champion. Although at the moment in the UK, the Supermoto Series, now known as the GB Series, a bit of a mixture between various organisations over there. It doesn't get any TV. It's the riders saying it's all a bit Mickey Mouse, as it's been explained to me. But I'm sure the British people, the guys, Tony Brock in particular, will get it sorted out, get it running nicely for all the guys. There's 57, Attilio Pinotti, Team Italia, KTM Italia team. That's a mouthful, especially when you've had a glass or two for lunch. 3 laps to go. This is the S2. It's race 2, and at the moment it's Christian Iden that has the lead from Great Britain, from Italian Attilio Pinotti from Gerald Delapine and Marcel Gotts. Well, one of those two have decided who's going to finish in third, but I can assure you Alice Ladd is only a second, or not even a second, behind those two. So there's Iden, there's the gap, nearly 4 seconds now, so Iden is up the pace. He fought his way through in the second race to finish in 9th position after being right at the back after crashing on the first corner. He got clipped, then got punted from behind. Down he went, but you don't keep Iden out of a race. He just gets back up again, growls, his little horns come out of his head, and off he goes. The devil goes for it. Christian Iden leads this then, the 22-year-old. Gerald Delapine, number 3. Well, as I said before, Delapine, veteran campaigner now for this particular sport, Supermoto, many years in MX. And if I was to take a sort of a poll as to who's the oldest man on the grid, I think Giovanni Pussai would probably come out on top. He's out there, you know, Giovanni Pussai. He's racing still, and he's even apparently scoring points in Superbike as well. He turns up with the bike on a trailer behind a car and goes Superbike racing. So you can't get any sort of like more determined than that, can you? Well, I think now Gerald Delapine has decided enough is enough. He doesn't want to play anymore with the Swiss rider, Marcel Gotts. Alice Ladd closing the gap now. Is that Alice? That looks like it to me. Yeah, number 96, Alice Ladd, Slovenian flag on the side of his plate there. And Alice, very likeable young man, extremely likeable young man. Very determined, and his team manager, of course, Frankie Moselle, and mechanic. We saw Frankie jumping up and down at the end of last year in Athens when his man brought the bacon home, so to speak, took the overall Grand Prix results. And Frankie, a little nervous this weekend, but I'm sure if his man can bring home something useful today, he'll be happy with the result. Team much bigger this year, much bigger than before. And I say, looking very impressive. Supermoto now becoming very impressive in the paddock. Bigger teams, bigger everything, more spectacular, more colourful. A lot more people, of course, now latching on to Supermoto. This is a sport that, take my word, people, in 5 years' time will be very big. And there's a lot of people out there that doubt my word. They've done it before. I can remember when someone once said to me when I announced at the Grand Prix in England that I believed a 4-stroke would win the World 500cc Motocross Championship. They all said I was an idiot. 3 years later, Jackie Martins did just that. I believe that Supermoto is on its way now, and in the hands of Youthstream, it is definitely on its way in the right direction. Looking better, round by round, looking more colourful, attracting bigger crowds, and providing some spectacular racing for our TV audience. Media Zone people, if you're tuning in and watching in, thank you for joining us. There's more to come, believe you me. Whatever you do, don't turn that computer off. They're scrapping now, and that's Alice Ladd chasing down Marcel Gotts, who in turn is trying to get back on terms, I think it is, with... There's the race leader. Yeah, still the race leader with Gerald Delapine. Pinotti still in second place. 1 lap to go, according to my information. Christian Iden had a bit of a crash in free practice on Saturday. Sort of binned it in big style, one would say. Didn't really stick it over the fencing, but he was okay. And he bounces well, this young man, being only 22 years of age. And unattached, incidentally, girls out there. Very unattached. Mum and dad with him, of course, his young brother, because his father, Paul Iden, a former top road racer in his own right. And I'm not going to go through his history, because we could be here a week. Very established road racer. And Iden knows he's got this one. See about those blue and red boots? Got a red boot on the one side, blue boot on the other. And they do say it's in recognition of being a British rider. The colours of the, of course, the British flag. Checkered flag awaits him. Iden wins race 2. Thank you very much. Who's going to bring it home in second? Pinotti does. Who's going to bring it home in third? It looks to me like Delapine does indeed bring it home in third. Gotts, I think, just held on to that 4th place from Alice Ladd in 5th. That looks like the top 5 through. Testu should come through, I think, in 6th. And Winstanley fought his way up to 7th. Well done, Matt. Well, team manager Ennio Laccazzini there congratulates the mechanics Well, it's happiness all around, and so it should be. Attilio Pinotti, another second place, puts him on top of the podium. Now, where did Gozzini finally finish? He went back out on the race. Where has he finally finished? Let's have a look down here, and I don't see him. Well, he's down in 29th according to my information, so went back out there. Bit of development racing, I think. So let's have a look at what the final result would be then. So you'd have, it would be Pinotti on the top step from Delapine and Iden. That would make the top three for the podium. And, of course, the top three going into the next round of the championship in France. Ladd would be in fourth from Barricani, then Mariani, then Gozzini drops to seventh from Nestor Jorge, Marcel Gotz in ninth and Verderos in 10th. That'll be your top 10. So let's have a look now at the official results now. Iden Yen, yes, for Great Britain on Aprilia. Pinotti, Delapine, Gotz, Ladd, Testu, Winstanley through to 7th, and Nestor Jorge there in 8th from Spain on the Aprilia. Further down, let's have a look. Verderosa, Mariani and Barricani there. Giovanelli, Motilia, I always try to spell Motilli. Minotilli, I get it right. Pes, Rispoli and Gorgay, Regal. Sam Warren in 20th. He won't be happy with that. He'll be going home with a big, not a smile on his face, I have to say, for Sam Warren. But I'm sure they'll get that sorted out as things go on. So further down, there's Purcell, Bugard, Vensky, South African 28th, and Clementi there 31st, with Girolami in 32nd. So Clementi, the Italian, the former Superbike rider, I'm sure will. We saw it last year with Gary McCoy. It is a big step coming to Supermoto. Pinotti, Delapine, Iden, that's going to be your top three there, 44, 40 and 37. Ladd just pipped to the post there by Iden from Mariani, Barricani and Gozzini. What a terrible one for Gozzini. Second race disaster for him. Verderosa there, finally finished in 10th. Points very close there. Minotilli down there in 14th. Winstanley also 14 points, both sharing that 15th place with Giovanelli in 14th. Sam Warren, well, 8 points. Not too disastrous as Sam, but I'm sure he'll want better at the next round. Vensky at 1 point there. The South African, his first Supermoto ride. In 23rd. 1 point's better than nothing, I have to say. At least it puts you on the board. So we're going to go across to the podium now and join the top three. There they are. Well, that is Christian Iden, who will be in third place on the podium. Now, we saw him on the podium 3 times in a row at the opening rounds last year, and then it all went a bit sadly wrong for him. There, of course, is the big man himself, Gerald Delapine, on the Husqvarna. So we've got Aprilia Husqvarna there on the podium. That's those Morme sunglasses that you get when you get on the podium. Very nice they are as well, from Brazil. Morme, one of our new sponsors for 2005. Here he is, Attilio Pinotti, KTM. So we've got 3 different manufacturers up there, and that's the first time I think he's been on the podium, is Pinotti, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last time. He's looking very cool out there at the moment with his Morme sunglasses in his hand. Dunlop, of course, Dunlop. I'm not sure whether that's his team manager or what, but he's got a broken wrist, whoever it is. That's hence the plaster. So very happy people here. Of course, you would expect at the first round of this FIM World Supermoto Championship here in Italy, Castelletto di Branduzzo, which is northern Italy, basically. Various dignitaries making the presentations to the top 3 riders. We'll be talking to the top 3, I think, in just a few moments, hopefully. We generally do. See what they have to say for themselves. Look at that. I'm fairly sure that that's the first time he's been up there in his Grand Prix Supermoto career. I'm going to get to talk to him afterwards or before the next Grand Prix, and well, that is Daniele Boccadolci, the DBO president. Of course, DBO, the organisers here of this Supermoto event, as they are next week in Mantova for, of course, the motocross. First red plate then goes and is presented by Dr. Wolfgang Schrub there, FIM CMS president, to Attilo Pinotti, he gets his first red plate. The big question now is how long will it be before either of those two guys that are flanking are going to take it away from him? Could they take it away from him at the next Grand Prix? We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, he has the red plate, and it's his national anthem that will be played to the crowd. As the Italian flag is hoisted high into the breeze here in Italy. What a great way to start an Italian Grand Prix, with an Italian on the top step. Well, Belgium and a Brit flanking him, but it's an Italian there. Most definitely the man on the #1 step. He's going to be singing tonight. There'll be some celebrations in that team. He worked hard for this. Red plate. He'll take that red plate to the next round. He'll be red on the front of his bike. Aprilia, Husqvarna and KTM. 3 different manufacturers. Couldn't really ask for anything more now, could you? That's what I call a good spread. There are the machines. That's the winning machine, number 57. The overall result going to Attilo Pinotti. Hair's getting shorter all the time for that man on the left. She'll tell a pin. A bit like me. When it starts to go grey, the best thing is have it short, then no one notices. While you've still got some to have it cut. That's the thing. I wonder if our young ladies realise what's going to happen next, because there's going to be some champagne presented, I think, in just a moment or two. And knowing those 3, particularly the one in the Aprilia outfit, there's going to be a lot of spraying going on. Here they go. Where's the girls? No, they've gone. No, not quite made it. Well, these young ladies get this job quite often. They should know by now that what's going to happen with these riders. So photographs are being taken. Bit of memorabilia. There's Christian Idden's dad, Paul Idden, there on the left. About to throw him a Red Bull hat, I think. Because Red Bull, of course, one of their sponsors. That is Paul Idden, who's no stranger to being on a podium from his racing career in the past in road racing. So, great bit of racing from these guys. Of course, we've got the S1 class coming up next. Of course, we'll take a look at the edited highlights of the first race, and then we'll come back live onto the grid for race 2 from the S1 class. Happy faces, smiling faces, the sun is shining, and the S2 race is done and dusted. We've got a winner, and can he repeat that performance at the next round? That's the big question we have to ask ourselves. Crowd milling around. We've got a couple of I'm not sure whether they're rally cars or kind of like production cars. There's the manufacturers. Well, KTM, of course, lead with those 44 points from Husqvarna and Aprilia. Husaberg, TM, Honda, WRM, Suzuki. Look at that. They're all different. How about that, eh? All different. There's not one. Well, I think it's great. We got so many manufacturers. We even got a new manufacturer this year. Sherco. Let's have a talk to our top 3, shall we?
Attila, now you have to tell us how it feels to win the first GP of your career. Attila, adesso devi dirci come ti si sente a vincere il primo GP.
Ma il mio primo Gran Premio lo sognavo da bambino, sia nel motocross che passando al Supermotarde. Aspettavo questo momento da tanto tempo. Ho avuto una grande possibilità, lo ripeto ancora, quest'anno una grande moto. Speriamo che prosegua così, è una bella soddisfazione.
I was dreaming of this moment since I was a kid, since I was a child, and even when I was racing in motocross, then I passed to Supermoto, and I was still looking forward to winning my first GP, and it's great to win it. I have a very good machine, and I thank the team for that, and I hope to keep going like this for the entire season.
So there is the man, Attilo Pinotti, on that number 57 KTM. Now holds the red plate going to round 2. He'll be happy, more than happy with that result. So will the team be. That's Christian Idden for Aprilia, pulling something out of the coals in that second race by winning the second race. You can't go really ask any more of your man than that now, can you? Hopefully we'll get to talk to Idden in just a few moments. And here we go. Let's have a talk to Christian Idden.
Gerard, it was a great race for you, but you lost some time behind Goss. How did it go, that battle?
C'est vrai que j'ai eu difficile à passer Götz. Il est rapide sur l'asphalte, il est moins rapide sur la terre. Mais bon, quand je l'ai passé une fois, j'ai repris de l'assurance, mais bon, il était derrière moi, donc j'ai dû refaire une belle attaque de la terre. Et puis les 5 derniers tours, j'ai mon moteur qui commençait à vibrer, il tirait plus, donc
j'ai assuré vraiment, je passais les vitesses pour ne pas que le moteur serre. Par contre, Pignotti avait des problèmes aussi, donc je pense qu'avec un peu de meilleurs réglages sur ma moto, je pourrais gagner.
It was very hard to pass Goss. He was very fast in the asphalt but slower in the off-road. But once I made to pass him, I had a nice rhythm, but my bike was vibrating a lot, and just sort of safe to have a final third place in Moto 2. And I think Attilio Pignotti had troubles as well, but I think if my bike was set up better, I could have gone for the win.
So Gerald Delapine, my apologies. Christian Iddon, of course, coming next because he finished in third. Gerald Delapine just talking about the race with our journalist down there, Daniele Rizzi. And now we've got Christian Iddon coming up. And we'll see what Christian has to say.
Christian, after a bad first race when you crashed because of another rider touched you, finally you got the podium and the first moto victory of your career.
Yeah, I can't believe it. After the first race, someone ran into me in the first corner and I crashed. There was nothing I can do. And I worked so hard the first race and I managed to pull back to 9th, which I was pretty happy with. I've been training so hard over winter, lifting block and brick on a building site, and that's really helped me. And all my friends back home will know that. And yeah, just the second race, I was really determined to win. I knew we had the pace all weekend. I messed up in qualifying yesterday, and the Aprilia team, I owe them so much, so I had to get that win for them. So thank you so much to all the team, to my mum and dad and brother, for everyone who's helped me. It's been fantastic. Thanks very much.
So the young 22-year-old, I should say, Christian Iddon wins race 2 here of the new S2 class, and happy with that after the disasters of race 1, thanking the team and everyone. So the question now is, can Iddon now get himself onto that second step or even the top step of the podium? He tried so hard last year, kept finishing second and third, couldn't quite make that one step higher, but I'm sure this young man is on his way. So there it is, the British flag, the Union Jack as they call it, and it's even the right way up. How about that? Italia then the winners, from Belgium in second, it's Britain in third. Interesting to say the least it was. We'll be coming back in just a very short while with the S1 races. Make yourself a drink, but do not disappear, please. Gerald Delapine making his way back over to the pits, waving to the crowd. I like it, Gerald. So welcome once again here to the GP of Europe, Italy. We are in Castelletto di Branduzzo. There it is, just up from Rome, more northern Italy than southern Italy. Temperature 29 centigrade. It is warm here, believe you me. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a little look at some of the sites here if you missed them on our first showing. Water sports is one of the big things here, but there's a lot of architectural history around here, a lot of old buildings from days gone by. It's a very beautiful place to come to if you're passing through Italy, maybe on your way to Tuscany or down towards Rome or that way, Napoli. Do indeed come this way, because it's worth stopping off for a day and taking a look around the area. It's a lot of very beautiful places here, and of course we're at the Motodromo, which is a very exciting place to be. Now, I'll leave you just to enjoy some of the sights for just a moment. So here we are at the Motodromo here in Castelletto in Italy for this first round of the FIM World Supermoto Championship, of course promoted by Ustream, organised here by DBO Events, and there is the circuit, the off-road section there, 250 metres. So let's just take a little reminder of what happened in race 1. So as the riders left the line here, this is S1 race 1. That's the starting grid. Thierry van den Bosch, Adrien Scherer, Ivan Lazzarini from Bernd Hema, the red plate holder, of course. Let us just remember now, Bernd Hema, of course, won the S1 class last year, but effectively Van den Bosch won the S2 class. But because this is the S1 class, of course, Hema retains the red plate. S2 has now become S1 and vice versa. I'm just trying to sort this out for those of you at home who are not quite sure what we're doing. But I've got it sorted out now, I hope. They're on the grid. First race is about to get underway. As the riders just line themselves up, the lights go out. Just 3 lights. Sorry, 2 lights now. 1 faces forward, 2 faces back towards the riders. Into that first corner, and safely everybody through at the moment. Looks like Van den Bosch may well have got the jump on the rest of the field. He seems to be clearly away with this. Aprilia dominated this class when they were S2 last year, as you, if you're a regular Supermoto fan, will have known. If you're not a regular Supermoto fan, thanks for joining us on this first Grand Prix here. I hope you're enjoying the action. Well, of course, Aprilia were the dominant manufacturer in 2006. The question now, there is some change with Bernd Hema, the S1 champion, coming down to S2. He's had a pretty wretched weekend of this because he didn't make, well, he made the Super Pole, just, and then he found himself excluded due to the fact that he had his tyre sticker on the wrong side of his tyre. So Hema didn't get a chance to race in Super Pole. He's basically had to start 4th on the grid, and things are not going too well for him at the moment, I have to say. But it looks like Thierry van den Bosch that has got the jump on the rest. It looks like that's Eddie Seal on the 100 bike that is charging through there. Eddie Seal on the Rigor Racing Suzuki. He's got the number 2 bike there of Jérôme Girardot. A pretty off-road racing there with him, so they're all lining up. And well, there's the girlfriend you just saw her there. I think it's Joanna, her name is, of Thierry van den Bosch, just in the background there. Joan, in fact, not Joanna. I get almost right. Joan, she was there just smiling away. So Thierry, I think, will want to just continue where he left off last year. He was so dominant, very, very consistent race after race. Looks like he's about to do the same. Van den Bosch and the 2 Scherer brothers. First of all, number 3, well, that's Adrien Scherer, the older of the 2. Thomas Scherer there behind him on the 112 machine. So the 2 French youngsters, I've got to say youngsters because they are still fairly young, just were 19 I think is Thomas, yeah indeed 19, Thomas 21 is Adrien. They live in Alès in France, so those 2 going after this, they're looking very confident. Of course in 2005 they were kind of the bit of a surprise. They went so well but had some bad luck. Last year we expected more from them, but it was of course the number 3 machine of Adrien Scherer that came out on top. Thomas had a pretty wretched season when he got injured, but nevertheless they're looking good at the moment. Serafini down in 27th. Well, I don't know what's happened to him. He's obviously got the worst of starts, absolute worst of starts. So the race still continuing. There is that number 3 bike of Adrien Scherer. He's looking good at the moment. Now, can he get... I'll tell you something, he's really giving Thierry van den Bosch a run for his money. There's no 2 ways about that. No 2 ways at all. So the 21-year-old Frenchman going after the current, well, I'm going to say current S2 champion, because Van den Bosch is the current S2 champion, who changed to S1. He doesn't bring his red plate with him, of course, because we already have a champion in S1. Of course, that is Bernd Hema, and Hema at the moment, way down the field. He is having the most wretched of times at the start of this one. Did his normal psycho training at the start. Seal is in 5th. Girardot there in 4th from Lazzarini. And of course, you remember Ivan Lazzarini battling with Gerald Delapine last year at Busca. Well, we're going back to Busca again this year. Those 2 battled it right through to the last corner. Beltrami Balducci two of the Italian Nations riders winning the team. Of course, the Italians won the Supermoto of Nations. If we've got a Rancorta this year for the Italian, well, it will be the Italian, basically, Supermoto of Nations, because they are the current championship holders. Busai, Giovanni Busai, there's him. As I said, down in 21st position. I think he's been off the bike. He's just having the worst weekend that you couldn't ever want a weekend like it, could you? Missing out on Super Bowl because he had the sticker on his tyre the wrong side, and the technical director said, no, not allowed, so you can't go out. Dunlop, of course, they're allowed 10 stickers per Grand Prix. They can choose between hard, soft, and, of course, wet tyres. The thought of wet tyres here, of course, completely out of the question. They're all running basically soft, most of these guys at the moment. Van der Bosch leads. Adrian Scherer, the number 3 bike there in second place. Scherer trying desperately to close the gap. This Aprilia looking so smooth around this track at the moment. That's the time scale. You can see it there, 1:30, 1:30, 1:30. So they're really not backing off. He lost a little bit there on lap 3 on a 1:59 from 1:24. But he's closing back up again. Adrian Scherer closing the gap. Back on Van den Bosch, the Frenchman out front. The team will be looking on. Well, they've already had one winner, and that's Aprilia have, of course, with Christian Nidden in the newly formed S2 class. This is the newly formed S1 class. So we'll get this sorted out after a couple of Grand Prix. Those of you out there are so used to seeing it the other way around. These are all 450cc machines, I hastened to add. Not the big bikes as they were last year. There's Eddie Seal. He's got Lazzarini behind him. He's chasing him down, so we could see a change there before much longer. Eddie Seal, really, last year, well, we expected more from him, but it just didn't come. Just didn't come. He just couldn't quite put it together. Lazzarini, well, he battled so hard last year to try and do something special. He just couldn't quite put it together in the end, could even Lazzarini. Running with that number 30 on the bike, but they're queuing up now behind Eddie Seal. This is a good battle. Lazzarini, who's that behind him at the moment? Seal on the 100 bike, Lazzarini on the 30 bike. Just trying to get a glimpse of that machine that's directly behind him at the moment with the number on the front. There's a few changes of machine colours and leathers for this year, but it's a good battle nevertheless that's going on. So there's 4 of them beginning to queue up for this, and there's a TM back behind that group at the moment. That could be Fabio Balducci. There's the race leader. Thierry Van den Bosch, Aprilia Off-Road Racing, the Frenchman, clearly has decided that the best way to win is from the front. Exactly the same as his teammate Christian did in race 2. Number 42 just rejoining the fray there, way down. That's Raoul Schupp, the Swiss rider. But it is Thierry Van den Bosch. There is that now. That looks like 112. Indeed it is. That's Thomas Scherer. So the two Scherer brothers at the moment running, I think, second and third. Yes, indeed they are. Jerome Girardot with Seal and Lazzarini, they're all scrapping over that 4th place, but at the moment the two Scherer brothers chasing down Thierry Van den Bosch. Beltrami, Balducci and Bidar with Roland Betome and Chambon. Well, the former champion there, Boris Chambon, down in 12th place. He's not having the best of times either. Things could be better for him, but he's going to have to work hard if he wants to improve on this. Busai. Oh, there he is, the old guy, down in 13th, and Hema trying to close the gap on the guys in front. Gaspadona, they're in 21st, so it's not easy. It's hot out there, 29 degrees. They'll be very warm in those leathers and those helmets. Not a lot of cool air coming through from the front. But the big battle on here at the moment. Eddie Seal having to fend off everybody just about. That is Balducci, I think, that's behind that group, so it's anybody's race. Eddie Seal, well, he's decided to find a new piece of track. Maybe he thought if I throw a bit of dirt on the circuit, it might slow the guys behind a little. But 30, Lazzarini, not put off by that one iota. He's going right after this. Place 5. Oh, we've got to change here. We've got to change here. Lazarini's found a way through under seal. And so is the man alongside him. So it's getting very, very, very active out there at the moment. Very, very active. Here they go. There's 4 of them still scrapping over that place. It could go any way. One small mistake by anybody, it's all going to end up in tears. They're going to end up on the floor. But Lazarini's got through. Seals dropped back. He's been sort of swamped by those guys. He's now back at the, well, he's back at the 4th position of that pack of 4. So this, I think, is the battle for 4th place. That looks like the race leader. Yes, it is. VDP 101 out front, looking so cool. Jere van den Bosch, well, the 32-year-old comes from Andorra. Of course, Andorra, you'll know, is a pretty good skiing area. Girlfriend Joan we're watching on. Been riding Supermoto since '99. He rides MX in the winter, a good place to do it. He hates traffic jams. Well, don't we all? He should live in England. And he also hates lazy people, and when you get to the cookie jar, there's none left. Maybe that's Jones from Sheets with cookies and doesn't fill it up again. Two of his pet hates traffic jams. Don't live in England, that's all I can say, because you see, there he is, there's Joan. Oh, she says, I'm on television. A little bit of embarrassment, but there is the boyfriend. Jere van den Bosch, Mr. Cool, out there on the Aprilia, showing everybody the checkered flag, and he even stands on the seat and does a stand-on wheelie to celebrate. That's the level of confidence. That looks like the second man home. Scherer there, and Scherer, the 2 Scherer brothers. It was Gerardo then in 4th place from Lazzarini, Beltrami, Balducci, and poor old Eddie Seal relegated down to 8th position on the Suzuki. But aren't the TMs going well? Bidar, Bitome, Rollins, Chambon, Massimo. Well, that's Max Manzi, actually. Hema finally finished in 14th. Oh, he's going to be woeing that. Ravaglia, Busai in 16th. Further down, well, you can see for yourself. They worked hard for some of these boys, but not hard enough to get there in the top points. But race 2 still to come here in the S1 class. We'll be going down live onto the line in just a moment to join them as they line up. And what can Thierry van den Bosch do in race 2? Can he repeat the success of race 1? Well, on his form from last year and his form so far this year, one has to put your money on him. In fact, I would. But I'm sure Bern Hema will have another idea about that. But for those of you that maybe have just joined us, you might want to see what it's like to get a rider's eye view of the circuit here at Castelletto. We've loaded Thierry van den Bosch up with the camera. He's going to take us for a quick turn around the track. Here we go then, off the start line with Thierry van den Bosch. Hard on the brakes into that first left-hander where they all sort of fall over each other. There it is. That's where Christian Nidden crashed out. Slow right-hander. Hard on the power again as you head up here towards this right-hander. Dropping down onto the brakes, dropping the gearbox down, sliding the back end out. Hard again on the fuel, then it's down on the brakes, then it's back down on the gearbox, up the gearbox, hard on the brakes. And believe you me, the Brembo brakes on many of these machines work very hard around this track. Keeping the power feathered on just in that left hand and onto that right hander, keeping it feathered again as you come up to this sharp right hander, down the gearbox, hard on the brakes. Front forks compressing under the weight of the rider and the reduction in speed. Slow left-hander. Now you're just winding up very nicely there, keeping the speed on, foot out just to steady yourself in case the front wheel gets away. You're going to go hard on the brakes for this left-hander. Onto the off-road section for the first time. Over the first jump. Now many of them will go wide, as you'll see in the race on the left-hand side. Thierry opting to go on the inside there, but he'll probably go wide over the tabletop jump. Remember, these bikes are running on basically cut slick tyres, so there isn't an awful lot of grip out there on the track for them, so they do slide around. Hard on the left-hand side, wall of death, back onto the tarmac once again. Very dirty there, so the bike will slide around as the power goes down into the back wheel. Into this left-hander, hoping that you've shaken the dirt off your tyres as you slide in there. Hard on the power again, down the second start straight here. There's 2 start straights here. It's a karting track as well, so they obviously use both of them. Hard on the right-hander, and I'm talking about hard. That's compressing the brakes and the front forks right down. Left-hander, as they come towards the start-finish line, it's a lap around here with Thierry van den Bosch. Hope you enjoyed it. Arroy, of course, one of our sponsors for motocross, and of course with Aprilia for Supermoto. That's the starting list. Thierry van den Bosch, then from Edrin Scherer, Lazzarini and Hema, who didn't even get a chance to go out and do the Super Bowl. Girardot, Thomas Chirer Balducci and Max Manzo. Beltrami, Bidar, Batome, Gaspadone, and then Seal, Rivaglia, Roland and Chambon. Top 16. Now look a bit further down, and this we're live now, but Bussai, Estabao, Rothbau and Cavazzana, Accarel there, and Dondi, Serafini down in 24th, so those qualifying times looking further down. No real UK interest in this class this year, I have to say. All their interest seemed to be in the S2 class now, which of course is the former S1 class, with Iden and of course Winstanley and Warren. So the Italian flag there along, of course, with the European flag. There is Thierry Van der Bosch, the winner of race 1. Yeah, he's probably got a big smile under that helmet at the moment because he's thinking, right, guys, follow me. I shall give you a lesson in Supermoto riding. Just watch as I go around and I'll show you exactly how to power an Aprilia around this track at top maximum speed. Probably actually not maximum speed. These bikes are capable of 100 miles an hour. There is that number 3 machine of Adrien Charrier, the older of the two brothers. And of course Adrien will be for a better result in race 2, if that is entirely possible. Winning is the only way he can go better in race 2, but he's got to beat Van den Bosch, and that in itself is not going to be easy. That's Ivan Lazzarini on that front row. 2 minutes. So as they clear the grid, mechanics, journalists, there is the number 12 machine of Bernheimer, the German, carrying the red plate. Jerome Girardot, Aprilia off-road. So Aprilia very strong again this year with some top riders. Well, they've had a good start. They've had one man on the 3rd step of the podium in what is now the new S2 class, and they'll be looking for a man on the top of the podium in this S1 class. Only the Scherer brothers, I think. Thomas there gives us a little wave. Thomas, of course, the younger of the two. He's 19. Fabio Balducci, TM Factory Racing, one of the Italian entry, one of the Italian riders who took the Supermoto of Nations last year. Spectacularly at Bishop's Court in Ireland, as a very brave cameraman there follows the starting marshal as they get off on the warm-up lap. There he is. It's the eye view that the cameraman gets through his viewfinder. I'm not sure as I'd like to be standing there with those guys coming straight at you, but you're pretty safe because they know what they're doing. They won't run you over. As they get further down the grid to the back of the grid, and the last few riders that are going to get off on those warm-up laps, I should say. So Thierry Van den Bosch, the winner of race 1. Adrien Scherer second, and Thomas Scherer was 3rd. So the two Scherer brothers signalling to the other riders that they are determined this year. Zalian Husqvarna. Jerome Girardot finished 4th from Lazzarini and Beltrami, Balducci and Seal. Then Bidar and Batome. That was the top 10. Hema, he's got to do something special. 14th in race 1. Apparently he crashed. I didn't see it, but he did crash. But he got out and got the bike started again. Further down, Paolo Gaspadona down there on the row 3. Row 4, there it is, Eddie Seal. Well, what was Eddie doing in qualifying yesterday? We really don't know. And Boris Chambon, well, he was having a little sleep as well, I think, because way down, row 4. Row 5, as you can see, Bussai. What a character he is. What a character. Does superbike racing and apparently has scored points, I am told, reliably. Just turns up with his superbike on a trailer behind his car. Doesn't need a big transporter, doesn't need a big team, just turns out there and has a go. Well, you can't really fault his enthusiasm now, can you? What a character. And we do need them in racing, these characters, because they do sort of make up the paddock. As the rest of the field wander through, the twin pipes in the back of that TM. Van den Bosch will be looking for a repeat of race 1 if he can do it. I'm fairly sure he's confident that he can. It's all really down to the two Husqvarnas in the hands of the two Scherer brothers to put him under pressure. Whether one of those Well, only TMs can do something about it. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. Lazzarini will be hoping for something. So will Girardot. Both of those riders quite capable of winning races if the man out front makes a mistake. But it's a question now, will he make a mistake? One has to think that it's very unlikely. He is so consistent, as we saw last year. Thierry van den Bosch, the Frenchman. VDB, just 32 years of age. Started racing Supermoto, as I said, in '99. A lot of experience, does motocross in the winter to keep his fitness levels up and to keep his hand in. And, of course, that gives him that greater confidence in the off-road sections. You can really pick out the ex-motocross riders, people like Gerald Delapine. When they get into the off-road section, they really are not stirred by the fact the bike moves around underneath them. Hates traffic jams and lazy people, and in Spitley hates going to the cookie jar and finding no cookies there. I know exactly how he feels. Although the only person in my motorhome that can eat the cookies is me. So if there's none in the jar, it's my fault. I can only blame myself. So there you are. The rider's just trying to get a bit of heat into those tyres as they come down to line up. They'll compress those front forks. You see that hand going down. There's a button on the front of the fork. What they do, they brake, they push the button, it holds the front fork down. This is a new thing we saw come into racing about 3 or 4 years ago. And basically what it does, it prevents the bike from lifting its front wheel off the start. That's the idea of this. The front fork, the weight stays on the front wheel, so it prevents the bike from wheeling. So as they brake for the first time, it releases the system and allows the front suspension to work correctly. So that's the front row of the grid. Bernd Hema, fourth on the left there. He needs a good start here, does Hema. He's done his pre-race preparation. He studies a map of the track and basically memorises it with his eyes closed and goes through the motions of left, right, up, down, left, right in his head. He could almost ride the track blindfold. .38, Balducci there in the middle, 101. Green flag's up, here we go. They're under starters' orders. It's basically now anybody's race to that first corner. Van den Bosch on pole. He'll sweep in from the outside across the front of anybody trying to come up the inside, just to block any opportunity anybody has to try and take the lead coming out of that first corner. Under starters' orders, he'll walk to the right. You'll see, well, you won't see, you'll see one light from our side come up. There's two lights facing the riders. They come up and then just go straight out. There's the red light. When that goes out, they'll go. Go, 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 go. Here they are. Race number 2. S1 class from here, Castelletto. Di Branduzzo here in Italy. It's an Aprilia that's out front, I think. Let's have a look. I've got to say that, and they're all falling over each other at the back, but they're all safely through. Someone on the grass. Now, where are the Schereros? Where is Hema? I'm looking for the red plate. He's had another bad start. It's Hema. That could be Hema. There it is, Hema. There he is. Recognise the red gaiters over his boots. Hema down in about 4th, or is it 5th at the moment? As the rest of them falling over each other. Who's got the lead? It isn't. I don't think that's Van den Bosch. I may be wrong. We'll let him come round. That looks like one of the Scherer brothers that's got the lead coming through. Oh, it could be Lazzarini. It could well be Lazzarini. He's on a Husqvarna. Well, even Lazzarini, if he gets a sniff of a win here, he'll be gone. Or is it not? Is it Scherer? We'll wait till they come round, because at this pace we can't quite pick them out, but I can tell you something, it really is hot out there at the moment. Van den Bosch, well, if he hasn't got the whole shot, he'll certainly, that could be one of the Scherer brothers. It's out front, because that looks like Lazzarini that's a little bit further down. There is Bernd Hema, the red plate holder. Well, they're all bunching up as they get into these tight corners, and here they come back onto the tarmac again. There is the winner of race 1. He's back in 2nd place at the moment, so Van den Bosch is going to have to work for this. There is a TM there in 3rd. That could be Balducci. Scherer, it is Thomas Scherer that leads. It is Balducci that's 3rd. Scherer, Bosch, Balducci and Adrian Scherer. 2nd in race 1. Bernd Hema 5th. Beltrami in 6th. Lazzarini in 7th. Girardot in 8th. Max Manzo there in 9th. From Eddie Seal 10th. Bidar in 11th. Aurelien Roland in 12th, Batone is in 13th, Rivaglia in 14th, Boris Chambon in 15th, and Giovanni Bussai down in 18th on bike number 200. So, Lazzarini, well, we thought he was up there at the front, so he got swamped a little bit, so he's actually down in 7th place. And I don't know what Chambon's doing. He just seems to be taking a bit of a rest, I think, this year at the moment. He just doesn't seem... He started very slowly last year before he sort of got himself going. But you don't really want to be scoring low points in the opening couple of rounds. You want to be up there scoring high points. 25 for a win, of course. 22 for second, 20 for third. Dropping to, 18 for fourth. There's Balducci. That's the battle at the moment for third place. That looks like the number 3 bike. It is. That's Scherer behind him. Second in race 1. They want to get on the podium. If the two Scherer brothers can get, second and third, or even maybe first and second at the moment, it is Thomas, who finished third in race 1, that is currently leading this race. That's the fight for third place. Adrian Scherer with Balducci. Fabio Balducci. And Adrian will want to get past, so you will have a Scherer first and third, Van den Bosch in second. I've got to say that I feel that Van den Bosch will just wait his moment, will just pick his moment, he'll chase the rider, look at his lines, get an idea where he's fast, where he's slow, and then make his move as and when he needs to. But in doing so, he may allow the men in third, fourth and fifth to close up on him. Heimer in fifth. The German, the defending S1 champion, has started the season. Whoa, someone just got his... Well, that was Scherer, just got his nose chopped off by Balducci. Heimer is there. Now, Heimer's going to start putting these boys under pressure. Now, you watch the style of Bernd Heimer. They've all got their foot out. Heimer tends to keep his foot on the footrest. It's a very, very Everts-type style. You'll see him put his foot down. He really, once he gets into his rhythm, he keeps the foot on the footrest. And, doesn't really do anything more than just that. Unlike Mr. Bussai, who puts his knee out like a road racer. Oh, and Heimer trying to push through on Scherer. It didn't work. The German having to give that one up because Adrian Scherer just decided he wasn't going to let the German through. So it's France versus Germany at the moment for that position of, where are we, 4th place. Out front, it's still Thomas Scherer. Thierry Van den Bosch still in second, with the Italian Fabio Balducci in third on the TM. Well, it was a good start for them, especially in the S2 class, with their man winning that. Gozzini winning the first race in the S2 class on the TM, and lots of bits coming. I think it won't be long before we see that aluminium box frame for the TM. They still have the tubular frame on the bike, so still a little bit heavier than the alloy box frame, but I think they're talking about maybe for Sweden for the motocross to debut the new bike, and they're talking about an 250 motocross bike for MX2 in motocross for next year. Well, there you go. That's what they've been telling me, so we'll keep your eyes peeled on that one. Meanwhile, keep your eyes peeled on the race, because it's still Thomas Scherer that has it. Van den Bosch in second from Balducci, and then Adrian in third, Thomas leading it, and Heimer still back in fifth. There it is, confirmed. Beltrami in sixth, so they're beginning to close up on each other. Lazzarini, Manzo, Max Manzo, Jerome Girardot, Bidard, Betome and Aurelian Roland making out the top 12. Eddie Seal, not a good race for him. Chambon behind him, so the former champion not going so well. And look at Bossai. He's still in there scoring points. If you get a chance to get a shot of him, you'll see that knee out as he comes around the corners. Not unlike all the other riders who just put their foot out. But Scherer now decided it's time to make a move on Balducci. And he's after this, so could we see Scherer first and third? Well, you never know. It's a long race. It's not over yet. 10 laps to go. The lap times at the moment in their 130s. The only person going quicker is Van den Bosch. He's the only man in the 129s. He posted a 128 yesterday. That was really quick, but in the Super Pole, well, the weather conditions, it was much cooler Super Pole this morning. The best time, of course, went to Van den Bosch in the 137.58, with Scherer on a 130, and then even Lazzarini on a 132. We don't know what Heimer did, because Heimer just didn't get in there. Got disqualified from Super Pole by having the incorrect sticker. Well, he had the right sticker, but he had it on the wrong side of the tyre, so I'm sure a particular mechanic in the team got an earful of abuse when he got back. Easy mistake, I suppose. Fight for first place, Scherer and Van den Bosch. Well, I did say Thierry will just size up his man, see where he's quickest, and Thomas Scherer, having none of it, just drops the Husqvarna across the front of the Aprilia's nose. He says, you ain't coming this way, mate. I've locked the door. Now, what's this going to do? Thomas, we saw him in 2005. He led races. The bike stopped. He had all sorts of luck, and good and bad. Thomas, of course, I said he is the younger of the two brothers, just 19 years, as averse to 21 for Adrian. So I'm sure these two have been working hard. Here comes Hema. Hema after Balducci. Well, he'll know that if he doesn't make a move soon, he's not going to get on terms with any of the top four. He needs to move up into fourth place, get past Balducci, have a crack at Scherer, and then maybe Eno looks on as if to say, come on, stop mucking around and get past the man. Well, I have a feeling that Thierry is just sizing up the opposition, just waiting for the right opportunity. But has Thomas got a plan? The pass is coming. It's definitely coming. He's having a look one side. He's having a look at the other. There's the lap times. They got quicker. There it is on the inside. I told you it was coming. It was just a question of when and where. He was just waiting to see where he had just a little bit of extra drive. That Aprilia so smooth on its power to him. They can smile. They can smile. Joni's girlfriend says, oh, there you are. Looks like we're on for 2 wins. Maybe it's flowers and a night out in a restaurant for me tomorrow. He was quick to point out to me that his girlfriend, not his wife. But I'll tell you what, I'll get married to her, I think, mate, because she's a very beautiful young lady. There he is. He'll make his decision, I suppose, when he's ready. But now that means Thomas Scherer punted down to second place. So that means Adrian is third. So he's got past Balducci. So we've got the two Scherer brothers running second and third again behind Van den Bosch. Now Hema doing everything he can to get past the Italian. Balducci on that TM, basically acting like a rolling roadblock. Oh, he had a look there, did Hema, but Balducci just slammed the door right back in his face. He said, no, sorry, there's no room here for 2 bikes, and mine's here first. So if you want to come through, it could cost us both dearly. Oh, it twitched then. You watch these bikes, they'll twitch as they put the power down into those back wheels. Remember, they're cut, slick tyres. Look at Hema. Hema's trying everything he can, and Balducci has to give way. He's doing an Iden there. I think Hema doing a Christian Iden, just saying, I'm going to come through if I've got to just push you out the way. Christian Iden, an artist at doing just that. So Hema now, where is he? 4 seconds off the race leader. 5 seconds off the race leader, I should say. He's going to go after Scherer, who's 4 seconds off the race leader. So what can Bernd Hema do? He's had such a wretched... Now look at this, he just stuck that KTM in there and basically said there is no room for 2. And Balducci looked across and said, well, OK, it's yours, you can have it. But he's now back on the cases, Fabio Balducci, so he's not giving this up. Bernd Hema moves up a position. Now he's got to really put his head down and go for this. He's going to have to... Well, you can see the man in front of him just down the track into the city corner. The team are looking on. Well, they must be thinking, this is not our weekend. This is not the way to start a new season. Getting thrown out of Superpole, so really not a chance to get himself into that first or even second position. Got ended up on 4th on the grid, but he was still on the front row despite that bad luck. But he's got his head back together. Crashed in race 1. Lost all chance of winning, but will come back here in race 2. That to me looks like that could well have been the 68 machine, or I might have been seeing things. Steady. No, that's the 101 machine. That's Thierry Van den Bosch. Well, he's now decided that the way to win is to go as fast as you possibly can and make sure the opposition stand no chance whatsoever of catching you. And he's gone. So there he is. You see what I said when we had the onboard lap? I said most of them would probably use the outside of those corners, almost like a wall of death. That's exactly what he's doing. It's the quickest way round and the best way round, considering you're on dirt with basically slick tyres. So you really want some kind of assistance to get the bike fast around the corner. But Thierry Van den Bosch, 101. He's out there now and he's determined it's going to be 50 points for him. I don't quite know what he was doing there, but the team manager looks on. Agnew looking on there, patiently knowing that his man is out there in the office doing his job. Couldn't ask for anything more than 2 wins in this class, the new S1 class for this year. it is still Thomas Scherer there in second place on the 112 Husqvarna. So you've got France 1, 2 and 3, and a German in fourth, with an Italian then in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, with a Frenchman in ninth with Jérôme Girardot. Frenchman then in 10th and 11th, 12th as well, and 13th with Boris Chambon. So France and Italy dominating here at the moment, with one German, Bernd Hiemer, the defending S1 champion, in amongst that group of riders. Now, can Hiemer get himself up into third position? He'll need to get past that man, not that man, because that's his younger brother, Thomas, 112. At number 3, Adrien Scherer. Now, is Adrien looking at maybe going past his brother? Well, he finished second in race 1. Are we looking for the same repeat here in race 2? Well, we'll know what the podium will be, that's for sure. At the moment, if it stays as it is, let's just have a quick look at our predictions. It would be Van den Bosch from Thomas Scherer in second and Adrien Scherer in third. Both on 42 points, but by the second race higher finish, Thomas would take the second step. Balducci would be third. He's level fourth with Lazzarini, both on 30 points, who also has Beltrami, also on 30 points, in sixth place. So it's all very cut and thrust at the moment, guys. So can Adrien Scherer get past his brother and take the second step of the podium by ways of the better second race finish? There's Hiemer. Now, where would Hiemer finish in the overall result if he stays where he is? Would be 8th on 25 points. He'd be 8th on 25 points. So it's a pretty disastrous start for him, because he would be 25 points behind the race leader, and of course last year's S2 champion, Thierry Van den Bosch. So effectively we've got two champions out in this race. We've got the S2 champion from last year, Van den Bosch, and the S1 champion, you're looking at him now with the red plate. And that, of course, is Bernd Hiemer. 2 seconds behind Adrien Scherer. Chance for him maybe to elevate himself up just a couple of points, maybe 1 point. Would help his cause just a little bit, give him 26 points if he gets a bit higher, maybe 27. Work the points out at home if you wish, 50 points, of course, at the moment for Van den Bosch, 25 points race wins, and then 22 points for second, 20 for third, 18 for fourth. Here we go. Now, what have we got going on here? This is a little bit of a battle going on. We've got 100, that looks like 110 tucked in there. That would be Max Manzo. Now, where's he running at the moment? He's running down in 8th. That could be Betome, 84, or is that Lazzarini that are around there? Yellow flag out, so we may have a tumbler somewhere on the track. Someone may have ditched the bike. There's a whole gaggle here. Well, look at this lot. They're queuing up for this into the city corner. Out of the city corner. Round the Dunlop curve. They're going for this. This is very close racing. Who leads this group through at the moment? Well, that's Lazzarini behind whoever that is just out front at the moment. That is definitely Lazzarini. So I'm going to have that's probably Beltrami on the 121 machine that's just in front of him. Well, that's very close. This is very much the battle for 5th place at the moment, people, because you've got Beltrami, Lazzarini, Balducci dropping down, Manzo, Girardot is in that group as well, number 2, I think. So that will be 9th down to 5th, and they're all chasing that 5th place. So it's all going to get a little bit hectic as the race goes on, as frustration starts to set in with some of these riders, and they try everything they can just to get through. So there it is, Lazzarini, Balducci and Max Manzo. Well, Lazzarini fending off at the moment Balducci on the TM, so he'll be trying to keep that Husqvarna on its tyres. Bosch, Thomas, I should say Thomas Scherer in second, Adrien Scherer, whoa, Hiemer, Beltrami, Lazzarini, that's 6th place, that's Balducci 7th, trying to push his way through. Manzo, Girardot, Betome, Bidal, Roland, the top 12 at the moment. Well, we're looking at this great scrap that's going on here at the moment for around 6th, well, it could be 5th place. Back into that city corner. Look at this. There it is. And 84 is amongst that group, so that is Betome, Kevin Betome in amongst that group. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count the 2 at the back, 6, 7. 7 of them all looking for an opportunity. Oh, and there's the mistake. There's the mistake, and that's Balducci that's gone down. 38, that's got to be Balducci that's gone down. Yeah, it was. Balducci outbraked himself, lost adhesion with the tarmac. He's gone down. That's going to drop him down. So his attempts to get past Lazzarini ended up on the floor. And that would have given Jérôme Girardot and Max Manzo and somebody there with a problem. Looks like an Aprilia. At the moment, I can't see the number. Oh, it's Marco Dondi. Marco Dondi. Well, he's been off. I think he's been off on the off-road section. He's definitely on the off-road section, so that's where he's picked it up. He's been off there somewhere. Let's have a look at 34. Whoa! Oh dear, that would have hurt. Front end of the bike dug in and just spat him off the side. He was lucky not to collect number 34, Emery, Maxime Emery. Well, he picked it back up again. He's got going, so he's okay. That's the main thing. There's number 45 just amongst that group. So it's a little bit fraught out there at the moment. There's the race leader, VDB, beginning to get in amongst the slower riders. And let's have a look down the list. Looks like 46 is going to pass first. Giuseppe Dittori. Dondi's there as well, 27th. I'm looking further down, but let's get back. So that's the virtual GP winner, and there's no doubt about that. Clear winner of race 1. Look at that Aprilia move around. All that motocross experience that he has, especially the motocross he does in the winter. That was Gerald Delapine, I think, unless he got younger. Looking on. So all that motocross he does in the winter, he really doesn't worry when that bike starts to move around. And you watch that bike, watch the back end in particular, when it starts to move around as he applies the power down into that rear wheel. Doesn't sort of unhinge him at all. He just keeps it wound on. And look at this battle now. Well, that is the two Scherer brothers, and it looks to me like Adrien Scherer may well have gone past his brother. He has. I think Adrien has gone past Thomas for second position. Thomas Scherer held that second position, went from first to second, but I think his brother has gone past him. Yep, no doubt about it. Number 3. Adrien Scherer, the older of the two brothers, has gone to second. Everybody now, whoa, get out of the way, they say. We're coming through, boys. Where's the blue flag? Don't see any at the moment. So the front runners, there's the blue flag. So they're now being told, the guys at the back, now becoming lappers, that the front runners are coming through. Best to be very aware of what's going on behind you, unless you take one of the front runners off, which is what happened to Matt Winstanley, the British rider in Athens last year, when a back marker inadvertently took him out. Well, it didn't really took him out. The back marker fell off, and Winstanley came around the corner and had nowhere to go except off the track. Hence, he lost the race and lost the Grand Prix. It can happen. It can happen. It's down to the rider to be aware of what's going on in front of him. If you come out of a blind corner, if there's a bike on the track, you've got to go around it. Thierry van den Bosch for Aprilia off-road racing. Really, well, I've got to say that if Thierry keeps this up for the whole season, we might as well give him the trophy halfway through. But I'm sure Bern Heemer, who's now in 4th position, will strike back at the next round. Team manager looking on, keeping a very watchful eye on his man, Nino Macazine. I saw him disappearing into the living area yesterday with a load of tyres. Well, they're all used tyres on his back, so obviously he's saving a few tyres for practice later on. They can get, I said, 10 tyres they can use at each Grand Prix. They get 10 stickers. It's up to them what tyres they stick those stickers on, but they're only allowed to use the 10 stickers, so obviously it's 10 tyres. If they choose to buy the tyres, and there's the checkered flag, so it is going to be Thierry van den Bosch. Last lap time of 1:31.732, his best lap time of 1:29.687. Double winner here in Castelletto in Italy for the first round of the FIM World Supermoto Championship. Promoted, of course, by Ustream, organised here by DBO Events. Heemer finally came home in 4th. Beltrami, Lazzarini chased him all the way home. But the two Scherer brothers there, 2nd and 3rd. So basically, it's an all-French podium at the moment. They can congratulate themselves. They've done a good job. There is Paul Idden, Christian Idden's dad on the right-hand side, all part of the same team, even though they're racing in a different class. Christian, of course, racing in the US2 class. Congratulations all round. Well, I'm sure the sparkling wine will be flowing quite readily later on. He's done what he needed to do, and that's win both races. That's what I call firing full guns across the bows of your opposition at the start of the season. There you go, guys. I've set the pace. Now you've got to beat me. Seal finishing down in 16th. Bussai in front of him. So I can only assume that Eddie Seal must have had some kind of problem. So the crowd enjoying that under this beautiful sunshine here in Italy as the rest of the field make their way in. And, well, there is Mr. Lazzarini with his helmet off. He looks pretty exhausted, so it gives you some idea of how the heat here has taken its toll on the ride. He's had to work hard for that. Van den Bosch, Adrien Scherer, Thomas Scherer in third, Bernheimer, Beltrami, Lazzarini, as you saw just come in, Girardot and Baton. That's your top 8. So France, 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 Germany, Italy, Italy, France, France, Bidar, and then Max Manzo, Jambon, Balducci, Gaspadona, Roland, Bussai and Seal. Wow. Bussai, 15th place. Good points for him. He'll be happy with that. Rothbauer, Arkrel, Emery, and you see the rest as we work our way down. Esterbau down there in 24th, the Austrian on the KTM. So it gets 4 points down to 20th place. So after that, it really doesn't matter that much because you're just out there. But a good selection of machines. A great second race here from this European Grand Prix. And I have to say, motocross, of course, digital.com. If you're on Media Zone watching us, I hope you've enjoyed the action here from the first Supermoto Grand Prix. Van den Bosch then clearly the winner with those 50 points, with the two Scherer brothers in second and third, 44 to 40. Then Girardot, Beltrami, Lazzarini, Hema. Well, Baton, only 25 points for Bernd Hema, wasn't good. Bidar, Balducci, Max Manzo, Jambon, Seal, Roland, Bussai, 11 points, 15th place. Gaspadona down there in 16th with 10 points. But it's close for those positions further down. Look further down, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Cavazzana, Esterbau, and Dondi there 22nd, all 1 point, all basically on their second race results. So there's your top 22. So that's all as it will stand going to the next Grand Prix. Of course, it will be in France. We go next week to, of course, we stay in Italy, we go up to Mantova for the next round of the World Motocross. But meanwhile, we're back on the podium here. A new podium for this year with that Wembley Arch, as I have to call it, because that's the sort of thing they put over Wembley. I, for God's sake, can't think why, because it isn't really that attractive. But our little arch is far more attractive than Wembley's, I can tell you that. The three young ladies obviously still sticky after their champagne soaking in the first presentation, just waiting for the top three riders. Here they come. Two Scherer brothers will come up first. That's for sure. Thomas Scherer then, 40 points. Third step of the podium. Well, Husqvarna really can't ask for anything. Well, they could ask for something more. They could ask for the top step. There is Adrien Scherer, second place, 44 points. So the two brothers, well, they've done their training in the winter and it's paying off for them. They just need to get one step up, but they've got to beat this next man to do it. There he is. Frenchman Thierry Van den Bosch, a pretty off-road racer, GP winner, 50 points, 2 straight race wins. He gets his more my sunglasses, and he's probably going to, oh, that's very nice, got a pair of trendy Brazilian sunglasses. Well, oh no, it's the boss. Eno has got the job of coming up there. Eno Marquezine, the team manager for Aprilia, gets the job here at the first Grand Prix of being presented with the team winning trophy. Trophy's there to the man in third place, presented by that young lady. Under the sun here in Italy, as the crowd have stayed on to cheer on the top three riders. You couldn't ask for any more. What a great start to the Supermoto season. A sport that, despite what some people say out there, is growing rapidly and is going to be a big sport in the future. It's only about 5 years old as far as Grand Prix are concerned. It takes time. Other sports have been around for 40, 50, 60 years. They're established. Supermoto is on its way. We've got new Sherco, another new manufacturer coming into Supermoto. I'm sure they'll start to do things as time goes on. But it's good to see the new manufacturers making their way into the sport. Looks like the trophy there for Pavia Province President there. Presents Thierry Van den Bosch with his trophy. We'll be talking to the top three riders in just a very short time. And Mr. Boccadulci, the DBO president there, Daniele Boccadulci, who is owns the company, DBO, who are the event organisers here for this Supermoto Grand Prix. And Mr. Wolfgang Strub, the FIM CMS president, presents the red plate. Well, he's had that one before. He's, in fact, probably still got the one from last year. Thierry van der Bosch, no stranger to hanging on to that red plate. I've got a feeling he might be hanging on to it for the rest of the season. But wait and see, you never know. Things can change. One bad result is all it needs, and it can all change. So as the flags go up, it's going to be France. I think France, followed by maybe France. So no real problem as far as the national anthem is concerned, and no real problem for the choice of flags, I tend to think. There they all are. 1, 2 and 3. This will be the Italian flag for the manufacturer, because it is Aprilia who are the winning manufacturer. There it is, the French flag, 1, 2 and 3. Good result for France, good result for Husqvarna, and a great result for Aprilia, because they've had men on the podium in both classes. They'll just want to try and get a man on the top step of the podium for the other class now. Can Christian Eden do it for them in S2? Wait and see. So the next round goes to, I think it's Villars-Sous-Écou in a few weeks' time. And great track, very technical, great off-road section. There's the machine, 101, Thierry van der Bosch, Aprilia, Champagne. Well, the girls weren't quick enough, but the boys were. What is it about races that make them just want to shower girls in Champagne? I don't know. It's something about the girls, I think. Yep. Adrian Scherer. Up back on the step, boys, for the photo calls, as the fans here can snap their shots with their cameras and their mobile phones and whatever devices they have for taking pictures. In my day it was Brownie 127. It's gone on a long way since then. You don't have to take your film to be... you don't have to take your cameras anymore. Your film to get developed, do you? It's all digital nowadays. So Van der Bosch then leads the championship from the two Scherer brothers. Battling over that fourth place, Gerardo Beltrami and Lazzarini, with Hema and Patone chasing down at the moment the sixth position, a few points behind. Further down, what you can see, 24, 23, 19 points, and Manzo and Chambon all squabbling over 11th place. Just a few points separating the rest, with Giovanni Bussai in 15th with 11 points. Well done, Giovanni. I tell you what a character he is. Further down the field, well, 7, 6, 6, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's all about points. That's what makes championships. Supermoto-S1.com. You can go onto that site to check out all the information for Supermoto. Manufacturer-wise, it's got to be Aprilia, hasn't it? Husqvarna in second, Honda there in third, sharing it with Yamaha, KTM, TM there, almost in fifth place each. Kawasaki and Suzuki, only Suzuki 1 point behind the Green Machine squad, 7th and 8th. So, points to be had, but they're all chasing that Aprilia, as they did last year. It kind of deja vu a little bit at the moment, I think. World Championship standings, there they are. So if you go to supermoto-s1.com, you can check out all the information on the riders, the teams. But Thierry van der Bosch, he brought it home for the team Aprilia. So let's have a talk to the top three riders.
Thierry, this was an impressive second moto. You were the only rider who lapped under the barrier of 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, I did not a good start like the first race. Thomas Scherer did a very good beginning of the race. But like the first race, I took my own rhythm, and after some laps I felt more comfortable. And then I pushed, and after I tried not to make mistake until the end of the race. I lost sometimes at the end of the race with the laps riders, but I felt very good today. It's a good start for the championship, and I want to thank Aprilia and all our sponsors.
So Thierry van der Bosch, well, he did what he needed to do, and you couldn't ask for anything more. 2 straight race wins, 50 points for Aprilia, and for the defending, well, what can you... S2 champions, so to speak, from last year, now in S1. Well, let's have a talk to the two French brothers, shall we?
Bye.
Starting off with Adrian.
Adrian, not the start you wanted, but a fantastic battle with your brother Thomas, and you finally won it.
Yes, I think I did a good race, a bad start, but I pushed a lot, and I saw I have the good rhythm. I really want to dedicate this first podium of the season for all the team. They work a lot, and also for my family. I am very happy to begin the season like this.
So Adrian clearly happy with that result, and well, I'm sure the team will be happy with it, but they just want to go one step more. But the two brothers proving that they're back.
Bye.
What about the man in third place?
Thomas, your brother dedicated the win to his family, but I'm sure you were not happy to finish third behind him. Ton frère t'a dédié sa victoire à sa famille, mais je suis sûr que tu n'étais pas content de finir troisième derrière ton frère.
Si, je suis quand même très content parce que bon, il faut quand même signaler qu'on a encore les motos dans les dernières. Et puis donc réussir un résultat comme ça avec les motos 2006, c'est très encourageant pour la suite. Donc on va essayer de bosser, de développer la nouvelle machine qui arrive très bientôt. Et puis donc une troisième place, le podium. Merci à tout le team, à tout le monde. Et puis rendez-vous à la prochaine.
It was a very good moto. I'm very happy about third place, even if I was behind my brother, because we used the bikes of the 2006 season. So great result. We hope to improve during the season with a new bike that's coming soon.
So there you have it, the two Scherer brothers. They're determined, and I think that Thierry van der Bosch might find that before much longer these two brothers are going to be swamping him in the races to come. We'll have to wait and see, because it's a long season yet to come. So the crowd just settle themselves down. There is some more entertainment on here after the Supermoto main races. So it's been a great day here at Castelletto. I certainly hope you've enjoyed our TV coverage out there, and we've enjoyed having you with us as always. Next round, of course, I believe goes to, I'm just cracking my head here at the moment, it's Villars-sur-Coupe in France for the next round, I'm fairly sure. And I hope the weather is just as good as it's been here today. It's been a great day and a great start to the 2007 Supermoto season. So the two Scherer brothers, well, they're happy. Can they beat that Aprilia with the Husqvarna? That's the big question that's now being asked, and will be asked of them for sure. So that's it, people. I hope you've enjoyed our action here from Italy in Castelletto. From all of us here and the team, we thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time out. So the next race, GP of Italy, it's in Torino on the 27th of May. Be there for all the action.